Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm live back for this video. We breaking down the Superman box office. We're gonna give you the truth. Most of me, I'm gonna give you the truth. Let's look at it though. Monday AM, Superman, it did what? 58.5 million domestic for the weekend. Those got updated. That's only a 53% drop, which is really good, solid. And it had a 10-day running total of 236.2 million domestic. Awesome. Sunday, the number that came in was 18.75 million versus the forecasted amount, the estimated amount rather was 17.4. So it went higher than that, over a million higher than that. And so the new worldwide total should be 409 million.3. So it's off to a good start. I see people saying different things, saying, on the opposite side, saying, oh, it's struggling. Like, look at international. A lot of those numbers are international. It takes slower to update. Yeah, it's not doing international numbers like Jurassic and all that stuff, but I'm gonna get to the reason why it's not doing that. I'll get to that, right? But just let's look at it though. But it's picking up. The numbers are picking up. It's over 170 million international right now. Those numbers are picking up. I believe domestically it could get to say 400 million. I believe so. And international maybe it gets to at least 250. So it could probably get to that. So I believe it could do 700 million. Definitely it's going to hit excuse me, pardon me for a minute. It's going to hit the 500 million by the weekend. So it's going to pass it's going to pass how would we say Captain America 4, whatever the Brave New World. It's going to pass it tonight cuz that's like 415 and it's already at 409. So it's going to definitely going to pass it tonight. So as you see right there, Superman is doing exactly what it needs to do, right? Everyone was saying this was going to be a flop. It's not going to be a flop. You could look and see it's not going to be a flop. So what those MCU movies did in like 3 months, 2 months, Superman's surpassed that already basically in 10 days at that time. So and like I said, it's going to pass Captain America. Not some it might look at it being a good movie, but I'm just looking at using it as a metric though, because those are only two comic book movies before Superman came out. Those are the ones that came out, so that's why I'm basing it off of them. So use it as a meter. So we know we got Fantastic Four coming out, but listen, if you're really a good movie, have a good word of mouth, nothing Fantastic Four is going to do to stop that. And I was hearing that the Smurfs, and I know what you did last summer, is going to take away from Superman. Highly doubtful that didn't happen. Try again. Now, so a guy that knows way more than me about box office, Luis Fernando, even he said, excuse me, he was saying that 500 million plus coming next weekend, 600 million plus lock, and it says it's eyeing a 640 to 700 global run, depending on how the Fantastic Four affects its legs, if at all. I believe what Superman did, it's going to help Fantastic Four out, and then Fantastic Four is a good movie. It's going to help each other out. I believe in the long run. And excuse me, I see all these other movies doing great. I'm not taking a shot at Fantastic Four. It was an MCU movie that came out. You know, I'm trying to tell you who else. The facts are the facts. Are this though? Even you believe Superman was going to do well. Who else? I'm gonna give you a credit for that. I remember Ricky was saying that this movie won't do 500 million. He was saying that. Not saying yeah, Superman's going to do 500 million. He's like a big IP. Now, what I will say is this, and going forward, it's not as big internationally in certain parts of the world. And that's where you see probably the struggles in the Asian market, right? Right? You'll see those struggles right there in the Asian markets. But overall, I believe the Superman movie is gonna be fine. Because now I'm hearing that the international is starting to pick up. According to Louis Fernando, even James Gunn said that. And truly, James Gunn believes this. He said, James Gunn says Superman is doing better domestically than internationally. He says we have a certain amount of anti-American sentiment around the world right now. Even all with all of that, over 170 million, international, right? So, like, bear with me, right? The movie would dealing with a whole lot. Not only that though, we look at Superman being so right, it's anti-American in certain parts of the world, sentiments you see going on. But look what Superman had to go through. What it had to do some heavy lifting of the failed stuff. So you look at what with the drama that was going on in DC with Hamada and right? So they sort of cleaned house of that, whatever. Because like Zack Snyder, he was bringing in numbers, what stuff associated with him. But when stuff that he wasn't doing, you see these other guys was taking over, like guys like The Rock, the other dudes who did The Flash and all these other movies. Now, Blue Beetle, I don't think it was a bad movie, but the fans already given up on DC. So you just imagine how hard it has to be when you start a new DC, a new universe, your first movie, doing pretty well off the gate. And um, just remember when Man of Steel came, it was coming up that $1 billion sequel of the Batman's, right? And so DC was in a good spot. So when people always talk about what about inflation, if we're going to talk about inflation, remember, tickets was much cheaper back then. So more people was going to the movies back then and all of that. So we got to add all of that too, right? Because like inflation is just a variable though, right? So it's not always applicable. You can't necessarily really apply it to what's going on now, but being that people are going to the movies much less since the pandemic. So that's why it's unfair to say, well, inflation. See, so we gotta be smarter than that and pay attention. So you have the variables like, okay, well, like COVID, all that stuff, pandemic, less people was going to the movies, all that. And now you look at it right now, it's probably like a 30% drop now, probably in the US as far as the movies. Who knows what over other parts of the world, whatever. So we gotta look at that. We try to bring up that so-called um inflation argument. So yeah, we past that. And also the Marvel boss, Kevin Feige, he praises James Gunn's Superman as proof there's no superhero fatigue and blames Thunderbolt's failure on its characters mostly coming from Disney Plus TV shows. So yeah, so the Thunderbolts, people like the story I heard, whatever the movie, but it didn't really have a big enough characters in there though. Let's be honest, it did. So that's that. But there is no superhero fatigue. If you bring the stories and movies that people want, they will show up and come, whatever. So that's that. Now I'm gonna get back on this Superman. The international thing is here's a truth. It may be a comfortable truth to some and uncomfortable to others. This is just the truth. Superman, when you compare Superman and Batman, Batman's much more known, way more popular international and more regions probably than Batman, especially in the Asians market, right? So you'll see Batman does better like overseas than Superman. And I believe this Superman movie, you compare it to the what's that? To Batman, right? Which I'm not crazy about that movie, the Batman. When you compare it to that movie, it's probably going to do more probably domestic than the Batman, but it just don't really have that super big Asian Europe market. Probably just the UK and excuse me, the UK is doing decent in Mexico and Brazil. They're doing really good in Brazil. So that's really the problem. So I don't know how well not Captain, but excuse me, what's that? Fantastic Four is going to do. As far as the Asian market, I can't tell you how well it's going to do. I don't know because they have a checker pass in box office of Fantastic Four. But as far as Superman goes, he's off to a great start. I have no worries at all with Superman, what it's been doing in the box office. People try to come up with these scenarios that grifters, Oh, but you can't deny the success it's having at the box office, especially at domestic. Hopefully it gets better at the international. It's rising, as the guys say. So like, I don't listen to grifters who talk. I listen to guys who actually does this though. That's like doesn't have a dog in a race, doesn't have no hidden agenda. Just gonna call it down the middle and report just the facts and stuff and the numbers. Where a lot of people, you can go to the channels, whatever, they have hidden agendas, what they're trying to do and stuff, trying to get their views and clicks and stuff like that. This guys is we talked about box office is more professional about it and stuff. So those are tends I tend to listen to, and I check out the trades and stuff too, see what's going on there. Sometimes the trades can get a little messy and stuff because they at the end they want you to click on their sites and stuff, and keep that traffic coming in. But Superman doing great, and no one could tell me otherwise. Like if you want to tell me numbers is doing bad for us, the numbers show me the numbers is doing really bad overall as a whole. It's not. Like I already covered, like the Asian markets is dead in the Asian markets. So, but like UK is also a big market too in the box office. It's doing that. So I believe you take care of home, which their home base is USA, and try to get something over there international. So they're gonna get over 200 million. Now, how far? Like, could they get to the 250 to the 300? We'll see. But I definitely believe 250 is in play for them overseas. So we'll see. But so far, it's doing really good. And I want to bring out his box office without the hidden agendas. People try to bash the movie, say it's going to flop. It's not doing what Man of Steel. You talk about something that happened back in 2013 when it was in the theaters for like 100 days. They don't mention that part. It was in the theater for like 100 days though. And mostly movies stayed in the theater longer back then, whereas now movies are probably a little shorter though. But still, in all, it's going to do over the 600 million plus, right? So I believe basic. So when we look at the break even, what they look at the production budget though, right? And so like the production budget for Superman is what 225, and the market is probably 100 to 125 million. But just look at the production budget. They wanted us to take care of that production budget, like 2.5. But like most, let's say at worst, it was like 50. It was like 50, right? So the production budget, breaking even with the production budget, that's gonna be no problem. They don't get the production budget money back, no problem. So you figure 450, right? What you do 450? You slash what's half of 450? 225. What's the Superman budget? 225. So definitely when they hit the 450 mark, they already made the production budget money back. That money they'll have that though. Even you take off the 50%, right? Boom, there you go. Production budget. As far as the marketing, they'll get the marketing, all of that. So if we're talking, if you add in marketing, so the marketing that would make it okay. That's what 350. So I guess some people say 700 though, but when you look at break even, it just the math they use is just the production budget times the 2.5. So they'll do that no problem. No problem, especially with the money you always get back on marketing anyway. I don't know how that goes, but a lot of other stuff that's associated with is going to take care of that marketing, like the 125 for the marketing, because you have to market every single movie you come out. But like I think, like you said, the guys they know more than me. The guys that work, the big bosses, they said they'll just be happy getting 500 back. Yeah, Vaughn and Ricky are haters. They definitely are. And so they said if they get 500 back, they good with that, really. Because they're not worried about so much money they spent for the marketing, like because the marketing is like 100 to 125 million. But the production, but as long as they make that budget back off of the movies, as long as you're not losing money on a movie, so like if you make a movie, let's say it's like 225, and you make less than that budget, that's a problem when you're losing money for movies. As far as marketing, they don't care. They're not tripping off of that. They want to make sure how's the production budget that they spent on the production. But are you at least getting the two off of that times two production budget, right? Are you doing that? And they definitely doing that. They basically almost there, really, because they're at 409. They about to make that production budget back, even if it was like a 50-50 split, and 50 is gonna probably be the lowest the lowest split that DC will make back, right? That'll be the lowest split. We don't even know what the first 2 week splits are, but let's just say it's a 50 split, right? Whatever. Who knows, right? So they're already making that back. So they're not losing no money on this movie. Now, as far as like breaking even and then being profitable, I think anything over the 500 will be profitable for DC because they're just looking at the production budget though, what it costs to make this movie. You're always going to spend money on marketing no matter what. It's about the production, but okay, did we get this budget back? So you figure that like you said, 2 times that, or if you go 2.5, you go even 2 or 2.5. It don't really matter, right? They're already making that money back. So if we really look at it, if we want to be technical, you just need really 350 net, right? If you get 350 net, technically would be the break even point because that's what they put it for everything, right? If the 125 marketing is correct and the 225 production budget, so that's 350 right there. So if you get 350, and if you make let's say if they made a total of a net 50, if everything's taken out, and they made at least, at least $500 net, right? What they made at the box office, at least that's 150 profit. If everything you say you just made as little as 500 million, not gross 500 million, but your net comes out to 500 million, that's $150 million profit right there. So we'll see how this all plays out and stuff. Cause like the budget was fairly good, fairly decent for like a tentpole movie, and the marketing wasn't really high, like 100 to 125. So that's going. Some places be saying 100, some might have it at 125. So even if it was like a $100 million budget, right? Let's say it was $100 million budget. Let's say it was 325, right? 325 to 350 altogether for everything. So they already, like, far as in gross, they're making that number, right? But far as production budget, they almost double that right there already. So we're there at 409 right now. So they definitely gonna get to at least 450 and 500. That's not gonna be a problem because you got today. I'm just saying domestic though, right? You got today. Tuesday's gonna be big business because that's what half off the tickets. So you're gonna buy more tickets mostly on a Tuesday. And Wednesday is the same thing. You're gonna buy a lot more tickets on a Wednesday. Then you got the Thursday and Friday. So it's not like people gonna stop watching the Superman movie because Fantastic Four comes out. It doesn't work like that. It's not. You're not gonna. I don't believe you're really gonna see a big tail off of that. I don't. So we definitely gonna wait and see what happens though. But if you don't know, I'm gonna do a video on this later though. But Wonder Woman has a writer, the same one that did the Supergirl strip, is doing the Wonder Woman strip, and also the ones that's doing the Teen Titans. Anna Nagara, whatever. I might messed that last name up, but yeah, she's doing that. And James Gunn must have a lot of confidence in it because he fell in love with that Supergirl strip, which is based off Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And to have the Wonder Woman, so like to flesh out these movies, right, before the sequels get, so boom, the Wonder Woman, right, that strip's about to, she's going to knock that strip out. That's going to be done. And then, they bring in director. So James Gunn, he want to have a script first before he really goes forward. It was really good. It's good. They go with it. They'll get the directors, all that stuff, and get the casting together, all of that. And then you will have it. So Wonder Woman is definitely moving fast track or priority, whichever word you want to use. That's going to happen. So with all of this happening now with the strip, so I can see some production happening in 26, right, where they start like filming it, all of that stuff, and then it'll probably be ready to go for 27. So you have like the Batman 2 Part 2 happening in 27. You'll probably have this Wonder Woman come out in 27, and then maybe Batman Brave and the Bold, if they get that strip done this year, we probably can see it in 28, because like the movie will not come out in a calendar year or fiscal year, whatever, of Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2. So that's what's gonna happen. And James Gunn said that. So 2028 probably will get the Brave and the Bold, whatever's gonna be called. That's more like probably gonna happen. Maybe he could get, maybe he could get what? Ben Affleck to direct that Batman movie? Maybe he could. Ben Affleck could do that. You know, so who knows? So we'll have to definitely wait and see on that. Though. But they got other got projects. So we have stuff in the works. You know, we have what not Swamp Thing. Pardon me. Clayface that's coming out next year along with the Supergirl, and we got the Lansing show. All that, and so we got the animations stuff in the works as well. So it's like really big moves happening at DC. I don't have to talk about the regular Warner Brothers stuff where they got they doing stuff with the Harry Potter stuff that's being recasted. So you see that they got Hermione, all of those Harry and Ron. So all that stuff's all coming together. So it's big moves happening over at Warner Brothers DC. Look, for right now, Warner Brothers it's at 1.3 billion. So they overtook Disney for the meantime, but they probably could recapture it back with the Fantastic Four. If not that, definitely with Avatar would come out in December. You know that's going to do crazy numbers. So yeah. So I'm excited for that. Definitely was the numbers with Superman. So you're probably gonna get some more information at San Diego Comic-Con, some more news. But Superman's is a success. He keeps it up, you know, and I believe he will. And I'm looking at, like you said, 500 by this weekend, coming up by this weekend. It's definitely going to get, I believe, over 600 is locked in. 600 million plus is locked in, according to Louis Fernando. So I'm going to take his word because that's what he does this stuff. Not someone that grips to get views and traction on their channel, but someone who legitimately does this. So that's what I'm going to go with. Not the grifters. Sorry. Not the guys that's the Snyder Bros that's got his panties in a bunch. No, we don't care what they got to say. But legitimate people, I'm going to listen to what they have to say. That you know, got stripes under their belt. Not someone think they know everything. No. I'm looking to guys that actually does this for a living, though. That does this for a living. I'm going to listen to them who does this for a living. Not someone that takes steak orders. You know. We don't, not some a couch analyst, no, but actually guys who does this as a profession. Those who I'm gonna listen to. I'm sorry. So this is people that actually does that as a profession, not the grifters. I can't not stress that enough. That's the problem. See, now with the internet, anybody can be a so-called analyst, but it's actually people that actually do this. Listen to the trades more and stuff. Those guys, they get paid to do that for a career. Like, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So what they've been saying, you know, Superman, you know, is doing well, doing really good under circumstances what it's dealing with, clean up the mess of the past iteration of DCU. And James Gunn, people say, oh, James Gunn couldn't do nothing right. They were saying, oh, James Gunn's only do that because he's part of the MCU. He's not part of MCU no more. And look what he's doing with Superman. So what are the excuses now? Listen, he put his whole reputation on it. What? Screenwriter, director, producer. You know, he's so bad, right? He paid himself $15 million. You know, on top of the salary he's gonna get. Come on now. So why would I listen to someone who's not even in this field? Is going to tell me about a guy who's been for like 20 plus years at least, been a creator of film. So that's the same. Like, we listen to the wrong people, don't have the right to really speak or anything because they have their own agendas and feelings about certain things. No, doesn't make you credible in that field. Because you like the film more than that doesn't make it right or true. This is your opinion at the end of the day. But I'm a trust in a person's expertise and experience of doing this, right? So yeah. I'm not gonna listen to someone who sits on the couch about boxing. I'm gonna listen to a guy more who actually box at that professional level. I'm gonna take that person serious. So I'm just happy. Like I said, Superman got on the base for DC. He set the table, right? All these comic book movies wouldn't be here without Superman laying the foundation, though, whether good or bad. He took those steps so these guys can run. Right, so yeah, so let's all remember that, and hopefully, what I would say is DC has to also work better at restoring more so the China name as far as comic book movies, right? So when I would say that, Batman could do that, but it's not all about Batman. So I want to make other properties where those could do well over in China as well. Try to get into what they're liking and stuff like that, and see what you can create to also be better. Cause I know we always can use Batman to make money, but I want to see what the other guy. Oh, my boy Ty. Okay, Parker, safe and text. Oh no, I don't got problem with Fantastic Four. I think it probably will be a good movie. What I'm hearing on the social media, that Fantastic Four is gonna be good. It's good when you have both movies out, because they gonna elevate each other though. And so when you have two good IPs from in the comic book movie industry, that makes people want to go check out more comic book movies. So yeah, that's only better. And then from a competition standpoint, you're gonna get the best, and the ones who's gonna win is us as fans. So okay, so yeah, I'm definitely I probably would check out the Fantastic Four. I'm probably gonna go on that Tuesday though, like the August the 5th or something, and check it out because it's like half off. So I'm definitely gonna check that out though, Ty. Definitely, I appreciate my man Ty coming in, showing up, right? But Ty, he not really too much of a Superman guy. That's cool, but I think he's gonna go and check out the Fantastic Four. So Ty, when you see Fantastic Four, let me know what you think about it and stuff. So when I do it, I'm gonna give an honest review. Um, it's doing more than 500 million. It'll get past that Ty. I guarantee you, it's gonna get past the 500. Like I said, I'm still sticking with 700. Maybe it might be tougher if Fantastic Four starts to come out hot out the gate. But it's definitely doing over 600 though. That I can tell you. But the main point is this: that Superman putting DC back on the map, as far as the DCU, as far as in the comic books, it brought the fans back into the theaters and stuff. That was the main point. Remember, Ty, if you notice, like people would stop coming to the theaters to see the DC movies outside of the Batman stuff. They stopped coming. So it was important for Superman to usher in this new DCU and get the fans to come back already to it. That was very important. Now, excuse me. See, I believe that the Wonder Woman will probably be ready by 27. It might be 27, latest 28. So you're getting a Wonder Woman movie on track. Now we got somebody writing a Wonder Woman, right? And she's already one that already completed the script to Supergirl. So I trust she'll get the script done. And it's not going to take 2 years to get the script done. So what James Gunn would say, he don't want nobody going to take him 2 years to get the stuff done in DCU. As far as Batman, Matt Reeves, he let Matt Reeves do what he do. But someone coming in, you can't take 2 years to do a script. Here he's on, okay, well, you're not, that's not what he's looking for. So yeah. So that's that. And so Batman should be next up after the Wonder Woman. And so now once you get the once you get the Trinity movies out there, then we could move forward to like a formation down the line of a Justice League. That's how you do it. Get all these guys' movies out first. Then if you want to do like a Justice League or go back to a sequel of Superman, and then when they're all showing it in there, whatever, right? But get your big guns out, movies out, right? Get those pushed along, and so far, I believe that's about to happen. So with Wonder Woman, we got a guy, not a guy, but a female that's doing a script for that, and then now we got to see what's going on with the Batman and Brave and the Bold, and then we'll be straight. Because now that'll be the top four. As DC said, it says Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and Supergirl. So we already got Superman already. Supergirl's coming out next year. We got somebody writing on Wonder Woman. We gotta get the Batman caught up. How are we gonna do that? And that's gonna be that. Yeah, I'm Superman, my favorite character over anybody, right? But I do recognize the fact they are really good characters. Like Batman is not really for me as much, to be honest. But you know what? Also, I would need James Gunn. What I would like James Gunn to do is get someone to do this Authority. If we had, I wouldn't mind having Zack Snyder direct the Authority, but get us a good writer, because that would have to be sort of like rated R, not rated R, but like mature, like a mature rating though. Because I look at the Authority, right? If you read their comics, the Authority is more mature though, more probably could be more grounded as well. And that's sort of like what you're getting. If you look at the Authority before the boys and stuff, right? You had the Authority. Really, you really look at it. If you look at the comic book, I don't know how long the comics about, but the Authority is just like it's sort of similar, like how the like what you get with the boys, though, right? Now and like it could be somewhat graphic at times, but those are heroes that will push the envelope. They will kill if they have to, whatever it means to get the job done. So I would love to see the Authority take place sometime down the line after the big guys do they movie do something with the Authority. I don't care if it's mainline or it happens to be elsewhere type of movie, whatever case may be. Or if you had to make the Authority, if you couldn't do a TV show, the movie, a TV show, I'm good with that. Or if you had to do like an anime style Authority, I would do that too. And like whatever well, it had to be animation with the Authority, fine, I'm cool with that as well. As long as we get these properties out and restoring the DC name to its former glory. That's what I'm all about. But for Superman stuff, the numbers, they're fine. Like my man Luis Fernando said, the international numbers are rising. Definitely getting better. It's the China, like the Asian market, is basically dead. So that's you move past that. But as far as the other markets, what they could do and get traction, that's what's going on right now with them. And so yeah, they have IPs where they have different IPs where it would do probably better overseas than the Superman. They have somewhere I heard they was working on maybe some Asian Huntress. It's just Superman. He regardless they took out the American way. He always been a big. He just represents America though. You just look at it for you just look at it right. So you can't get that away. And like Superman, just like Boy Scout from the States, a lot of certain areas don't get with that or whatever. Or Batman Beyond. Why not just do like maybe a movie but that probably like an Elseworld things like they do like a Batman Beyond Elseworld or something like that, or maybe like an anime type of style with Batman Beyond, do a movie whatever, just get some more anime go. You have a Warner Brothers of Japan that could probably get like distribute that as well, because I believe they have like one of those animes on there on Netflix too. So like a Batman Beyond anime, I'm cool with that. Some things we could do the anime. It's getting this anime crowd. It's getting an anime crowd. Like they could make some IPs as anime, and it probably okay. Like the Authority, you could go if you can't get the live action going. Why not doing like an animation with it, whatever, and stuff like that. That you probably could tell like a much better story doing an anime style or animation with the Authority, which will be like rated R. If you can't get the live action movie getting going well, so either way, they could just try that though. You feel me? But yeah, so that's that really. With the Superman, James Feige, he likes the movie because he says fleshed out. He says, you know what, you push you right into it, and you may not know who Mr. Terrific is right now, but going as the movie goes along, you'll get to understand. Okay, this is who he is, right here, and stuff. So yeah. He likes it. He wants to see Bizarro though on Feige though, and also I'm gonna remember this to let these Marvel fans know Feige only has 2 years left on his deal. So after that Avengers Secret Wars, who knows if he stays? He'll be a sort of free agent, And his mentor, is over at Warner Brothers. So hey, so imagine having those guys back together, man. That would be something awesome. No, real movie. I'm not sure because it depends because it depends where they're gonna go. If they're gonna take inspiration from the Brave and the Bold, maybe you might have like an older Batman or whatnot. But this Batman is gonna have to be someone's gonna set up. So I don't know if they're gonna go to older Batman because you want to in the DCU you want to have like get someone maybe in the 30s to play the Batman and stuff like that. Probably. Because you're going to look at something like a 10-year run, probably, right? Because that's what this thing is. It's like a 10-year run, basically. It's DCU. So in that 10 years, that's going to be the whole entire saga, whatever, and stuff. So from now to 35, right? So that's like 10 years or whatever. So I can't wait, man. Man, I can't wait till next year. to see the Supergirl, and I'm gonna go and see Clayface. I'm not even crazy about horror movies all that much, but I'll go and support DCU. The Clayface. I think that'll be good. Remember, Matt Reeves is associated with too. He's I believe a co-producer of some sorts on that Clayface horror DCU. So, and trust me, after once his run is done with the Batman the trilogy, yeah, James Gunn's gonna probably have him do some stuff over in the DCU, but he's gonna let him cook with the Batman. Oh yeah, Michael Keaton. Oh, okay. Use Michael Keaton. Yeah, Batman. I like the animation of Batman Beyond was good, but the Batman animated series though that's I would put that one, and then you'll put the Batman Beyond number two for Batman, right? But it's so many inspirations you could take for Batman. I believe they're using the Batman animated series as probably the inspiration. Definitely is the inspiration for Clayface. If you look at the Clayface that was in the Batman animated series, so that's definitely the inspiration for the Clayface movie. So I definitely would tell you that. But yeah, it feels good to see Superman, being back on top, doing good and well, doing well for DC, like carrying DC, right? All the talk you hear about like Superman, so that's like bodes well for DC and the projects going forward. So I'm happy for that, and I definitely gotta check out Peacemaker season two. So yeah, so DC got a lot of stuff in the works. You will see more news coming out to San Diego Comic Con in the coming months and stuff as well. And so basically, we'll find more stuff out more so in that Peacemaker season two as well. What the events after the Superman. So he was saying that as well. And so yeah, so I implore y'all, if anyone's interested in Supergirl or wonder what they're going to do with Supergirl, read the Supergirl comic book, Woman of Tomorrow, that was written by Tom King and artist by Tom King and some artists also. Check that out. And also, Tom King also, he currently writes Wonder Woman right now. He currently writes Wonder Woman right now and stuff. So yeah, I have the comic. I read it, so I know exactly what goes on in this book. What I can tell you is this, and what I've been saying, Supergirl is much. It's gonna be a much darker tone than Superman movie. Much darker tone and stuff. And you'll see the lens through Supergirl. Before we used to get the lens of Supergirl through the lens of Superman, basically. But now it's fully gonna be a fleshed out Supergirl movie story, because it's about Supergirl, what she experienced though before she even got to Earth though, the destruction of Krypton and the effect that toll it took on them and stuff, and the ramifications, all that stuff. You'll find that out if you read this book. I believe that's going to be also on the big screen what story they're going to try to tell as well. And so I can't wait to check this movie out. Remember, everything started with Superman. So remember, as far as like the comic book movie, superhero comic book movie started with Superman. The first the first DCU universe with all that, it started with Superman. So now the DCU started over again. It starts with Superman as far as live action goes. So yeah, so I'm gonna give James Gunn the benefit of the doubt until he proves me wrong, right? But like, he's not gonna write every single product that comes out, right? He's really he's overseeing these DC movies and stuff. Yeah, he's like with some super real big event. Yeah, he's probably gonna be a director on there though. Yes, he's like, because he's definitely gonna do that, definitely. But Superman, he had to get that out and running and stuff, and that was important to get Superman right. The comic Superman, get that right. James, I'm in reference. I'm gonna speak on Zack Snyder. He did a hell of a job with Man of Steel, making that a more grounded Superman. Yeah, I'll give him credit for that. He did. He made a more grounded Superman, which we haven't seen before ever, right? We've seen like imitations of some grounded hero of a Superman, whatever. But the actual character Superman, we never had a grounded Superman before like that. Or the semi-realism of what Superman probably would be like, or whatever. We never had that before, ever. So That's probably why more people resonate with the Man of Steel more so than this Superman, probably, right? Or is it a vibe? Because that Superman was grounded. So to be fair, it's not really a fair comparison when you try to compare the two. I would just say that. I mean, like it's anything Superman, I'm always support anything Superman. I seen every Superman movie, good or bad. You know, I seen it. Smallville, crazy. Lois and Superman. Even I watched some of that Dean Cain Superman, which I wasn't really crazy about, but it was more a soap opera Superman. You look at anything, right? That's really what it was. But hey, what I know, I only been collecting Superman since what? Since the early '90s. So yeah, yeah. Like I said, I like the Superman better because the reason why I like it better because I collected comics and stuff since, and that resembles the Superman I was collecting when I was growing up, coming up, right? That's why I like it more because I remember back to that time when I collected the comic. That's how Superman how he would act for me reading the comic book. Yeah, Man of Steel, maybe it was ahead of his time though. It was way more grounded. You know, the visuals was crazy. All of that. I give Man of Steel his props though. But you can't be a real DC fan and want to see this DCU fail. So guys like Vine, Snyder Bros, they're not real DC fans. They're Zack Snyder fans. Just own up to it. Yeah. So who else? Yeah, and set up the Justice Gang. Yeah, that could be something. Maybe that could be what he's working on next, possibly. I don't know, but I do want to see a Superman sequel. Though it could be a Justice Gang movie, though. It could be. Cause we know down the line we're gonna get a Justice League of some sort, but they all setting that up. Maybe his next thing he'll do is the Justice League. I don't know, but I think we will get a Superman sequel though. Definitely gonna get that. But they also want to have these other movies come out though. Superman maybe um let these other movies come out first, then bring that Superman sequel. So yeah. No, I already know. No, here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Who else? If they get this a 40 movie going live, right? Get it right. You know who I would want? Henry Cavill will be perfect to play Apollo. Have him do that. You know, basically he got like solar powers like Superman and stuff. And yeah, Henry Cavill that'll probably be like Elseworld DC Studios moniker. That's what happened. They have that though. That's what excuse me. That's what like the Batman's under the Elseworld, right? So yeah. So if they do a Kingdom Come type whatever, they could do that. Or if they do some imagine like if they do some big old crisis type movie. So that way you could have that Man and still show up. And you could have this Superman. It could be like an homage to those like whatever. But like I would love to see Henry Cavill in an authority though, as Apollo though, if you ask me. Cause I'm not sure they'll go straight Kingdom Come right away, but he could play Apollo though, Henry Cavill, I believe, from an authority. If they get the authority up and running and stuff, that's something I want to see. I mean, they could do something like that. But he said he does want to find if he want to find a role for Henry Cavill, so he'll have Henry Cavill come back. They said Henry Cavill was a gentleman about it. Like they messed that up what they did. So people think it was James Gunn that messed up with Henry Cavill. It wasn't James Gunn. It was those guys. It might have been Zavlov. What they say you coming back, but he was already before they didn't tell James Gunn that because remember James Gunn was already writing a script for Superman, and he tells that in the interviews and stuff as well. So you could go and check that online, the interviews, all that stuff. So James Gunn was perfectly saying that and whatnot. So being that we got the script for Wonder Woman. So now, work fast at getting the actors, the actress to play the Wonder Woman, and have a good cast as well. So I can't wait to see how that all turns out. But it was a lot of people who want to see Superman fail. It's not going to fail. Sorry, I disappointed a lot of people. The Superman movie is not going to fail. You see what it's doing? It's going to pass like I know that's your boy, the Brave. It's going to pass Captain America for it, right? Which is okay. It's not the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world. Like people want Superman to fail. How? Why would you want to see Superman fail? It's of And like, you know what's crazy? Where they want to compare, hey, when we was kids, we compare, hey, this character beat that character. Now, when you're a middle-aged man, we don't care which character. I don't care if this character beat this character. It doesn't matter. What that has to matter? No, it's what I'm saying is gonna pass like capture people. Here's the thing: what tricks me out, right? If people that have a problem with Captain America and Superman passes that, we can't be like, oh, what did it do? Like I'm only judging because those are the only two MCU movies that came out, and look, and people said it was like the movie, like the Thunderbolts is better than Captain America, but Captain America still grossed more than that, and they had the same production budget, so that was kind of crazy right there, right? See, but it shows you the traditional character still got some tricks left up the sleeve though, Superman. So like the audience, the biggest thing with Superman, it's not how all those money that it did in his 10 days. It's you know what's the biggest thing that Superman did? What James Gunn did? Who else? Went back to DC audience, the DC crowd, winning back the moviegoers. That was the biggest thing they needed to do, and James Gunn did that, and that's why I said when I was saying it in the Discord that James Gunn brought back DC. He did. He brought back DC. You just look at what's going on. Where guys like Manhattan was jumping on ship and said, "Oh, I don't know how I'll get to the 500." Was in there with Ricky, right? And I had to lower his volume down because I ain't like what it's saying. I thought it was changing sides. Then no, I'm a stand. If I bet on this, whatever. I'm a stand. I'm a go down with the ship. That's me, right? And how long I've been saying this though? Who else? That I believe Superman's gonna get to 700. So if I believe it could do 700, definitely I believe it's gonna do 500 over 600, right? And you know, you got guys like Grifter Ricky Brown saying, "Well, where it's trending, it wasn't trending to do 500 million." What? Are you serious? See now, personal bias against the character. People say, "I don't want to see Superman do bad." Other people saying, "I don't want to see Superman do bad." Guys like Ricky Brown, you know, but you know that's a lie. Look at Ricky Brown's icon he has, right? Come on, anti Superman icon, right? So yeah, man. Hey, if you are listening, man, you try to switch up a little bit, but I had to send Manhattan to the Phantom Zone for temporarily until he got right. He got right, and he came back on the board now. You feel me? So yeah, no, but like trusting the process. I told him, hey, it'll be a slow burn. People say, wait, it's still at 95% overseas. That's because they didn't update those international numbers yet. Those are much slower to update. Domestic, those update daily, but international, it might take a little while to get reports about things happening, right? But like Mojo doesn't really update the internationals right away like that. It takes some time. And people were just running with narratives that wasn't doing such and such. It's almost at 200 million international. And people, so people was praising the Thunderbolts, right? So remember, let's look at this though. It's nearly, it's soon to be at 200 or more without a super strong presence in Asia. That's saying a lot. Saying a lot. They was vote. It was a lot. It was guys like Big Money saying Superman wouldn't even do 100 million opening weekend domestic. Remember, Big Money was saying that, and Play Rosie was thinking he was going to do 100 million opening weekend. All these charlatans are exposing themselves. Play Rosie, tries to crap on a movie without crapping on a movie. He likes Menace, that's fine, but he gives the movie a 7, but then want to try to call it trash though. So like guys like Play Rosie, I'm sorry to tell you, the Snyderverse is not coming back. It's not. Now if y'all Snyderverse bros wanna fund the movie to come back, by all means, hey, send that proposal to DC. I think they might give you a call. If you're willing to fund the movie. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, Big Money was saying I think it's gonna flop. You know, he was saying it wasn't gonna do 100 million. A lot of people in that Discord saying the movie was gonna flop, all this and that. And now they quiet. Now they crying about me posting this stuff, right? After they saying this movie's gonna flop and stuff like that. And now they begging for mercy to get me to stop posting these articles in the Discord. And I was saying from day one, who else you know this? That I was saying the Superman movie was gonna do 700 million, right? And I said at worst it's gonna break even at worst. So come on. Now, a lot of these guys is quiet and hoping that it doesn't do this and that, hoping. But you can hope all you want. Doesn't mean it's gonna come true. Because you want something to happen doesn't make it fact what you're saying. So yeah, everybody knows that's in this YouTube live stream with me. Y'all know what Superman's doing. Y'all see the numbers. Like if you don't have to believe me, but believe in the actual raw data, the numbers, what it's saying. Look at guys that's more credible than the guys like Ricky Brown, the known grifter, right? Look at guys like Luis Fernando, who said, listen to the trades they're saying what it's doing. Just listen to them. Don't listen to the grifters that just trying to run their views up. Right? They don't really care about you. They just trying to run their views up. Me, I'm gonna try to be honest as I can with y'all. I'm gonna go off the numbers and give you my opinion what I think was gonna happen. You know, Superman hasn't shown no sign of really slowing down where they gotta take it out the theaters. Actually, they added more. They added 140 more locations. So right now they're at 4,275 theaters. Right? So they still got a lot of theaters in a Fantastic Four coming out. So they say, hey, they about to lose like 1,000. No, they're not. They're not going to lose enough because DC could pay more, right? Because they know this Superman movie means more to them than what Fantastic Four means to Marvel. It does. Because what Marvel has, even if Fantastic Four doesn't do super great, they got Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars next year. They got Spider-Man next year. Hell, even Disney has it has what's that? Avatar, the Fire and Ash coming out in December. So Fantastic Four is not a super big deal because it's sort of separate, even part of the MCU, but it's sort of separate. So yeah, so it's not a big deal. But we all know Superman is a big deal for Warner Brothers DC. So they put out all this stuff. They gonna make sure for the best chance to be successful. If they gotta buy some more studios, that's what they're gonna do. I mean, more fitters up, they'll do that and all that. You know what? I would like to see all fitters have IMAX in them. So like, so let's do that. Let's make IMAX a much bigger thing because like the local movie theater in my town in Jersey, it doesn't have IMAX. It's a laser AMC, but it doesn't have the IMAX. So I seen it in 3D the first time. So I'll probably go back again and see it in a regular laser though. But the IMAX fitters, those are the ones that sort of get packed though. I can tell you that. Yeah. So nobody want to see this movie be great. Superman, it's crazy. So we covered like all the big news for us. Let's do a little recap. Like you said, Superman did 58.5 million domestic weekend. On Sunday, it did 18.75 million. Where it was reported the estimate is for 17.4, so it did over a million past that estimate. All that. It's at 236.2 million domestic right now. I believe it has a chance to get to 400. 300 is definitely a lock. I would say that. And so yeah, it sits at 409 million. 0.3 million, 409.3 million right now. That's not counting what's happening today domestic or the other international stuff that might come through, right? So let's look at that. So 500 million by the weekend, no problem. And then the next thing's gonna be the 600, then the 700, and don't let it keep like you say, keep bringing in these money and all that stuff. And then once the new international starting to pick up, that's good. It's starting to pick up now because the international hasn't been going super crazy, but it's starting to pick up. It starts to do better. So that could be in those other areas and stuff. So let's look out for all the people that wanted to fail. They had the hashtag while it's closed You know, bring back the Snyderverse, all that nonsense. You know, it's people called Lethal Geeks, whoever they call, had like a truck with a screen on it, advertising, wasting their money. They didn't stop nobody from going to pay to see the movie. Nobody. It's nothing. So they just wasted their money, right? So yeah, we got that. And like I said, once again, Louis Fernando on X, right? But he also does this though. That's just his X page. Like he says 600 million lock, 500 million coming next weekend, and it's eyeing 640 to 700 million global run, depending on how the Fantastic Four affects his legs, if at all. So we're looking at 600 million plus, regardless of that. That's locked already. And it was some grifter in the Discord said, there's no way it could get 600 million. He doesn't see it. Okay. Well, yeah, a blind man doesn't see nothing either, though, right? Yeah. So, yeah, so he must be blind. Oh, yeah, that's right. Even a Homelander went to see the movie, a fan, right? We don't know, like, Homelander, like, Superman, another telling of a Superman, a darker Superman. But remember, Superman started this. You wouldn't have the boys without a Superman, the Homelanders, the Sentries, all these other semi-Superman characters. You wouldn't have them. You wouldn't have them. This point, the superhero, as far as the comics, superhero, it started with Superman. That character set it up for other superheroes to come, whether they like Superman or not. But he set the tone for that. Be a superhero. So you can always make a character more powerful than you can always study to see the one that came before you, right? You always can see that. But yeah, so that's that right there. So, and James Gunn, so he understands why it may not be doing great in certain areas, mainly the Asian market, right? Because the anti-American sentiment, and I'm gonna just say this, we all know why. Our leader has been making it tough overseas where people don't like America as much. I don't gotta say his name. Who else? You know who I'm talking about, the orange hair guy. That's probably why. But I hope Fantastic Four doesn't be riddled by anti-American sentiment. I hope that doesn't hurt them. Because I want to see all movies do well. I just want to see my movie do better. Superman do better. That's just a fan of me. I just want to see Superman do better. I don't want a movie not do good, but hey, if Fantastic Four does 700 million, I want Superman to do 701 million. If Fantastic Four does 800 million, I want Superman to do 850 cents. Whatever, right? As long as it's more. That's all I care about. Yeah. Yeah, Lord Cheeto. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that he's making it tougher it makes America really unpopular. Now, what I mean by that, what represents Americana? Like Superman, right? Captain America, right? All those guys. You look at it, right? Now, maybe Fantastic Four may not be as real as much, but it still comes from America. Now, Jurassic Park, a lot of times when people are mad at something, but they won't abandon the things that they really like. They like the dinosaurs, they like the cars, so they won't have truly abandoned that and stuff. And like, case in point, where was a situation that happened at Starbucks, people still going in at Starbucks, So yeah. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, so James Gunn, he understands that, and he's saying that the international movie is thriving. It's going, is getting better, going higher. So yeah, it is. And like, look at this though. I'm gonna say this again. The Marvel boss Kevin Feige praises James Gunn's Superman movie. He says, there's that Superman. He says Superman has proved there's no superhero fatigue, and like you said, he blames the Thunderbolts failure on his characters, mostly coming from Disney Plus TV shows. It was too much Disney Plus TV shows. Remember, quality over quantity. And that's what DC is doing. So Marvel needs to get back to doing that. And Feige was saying that as well. If you go and read his interview, he was pointing more to that as well and stuff. You know what I would love to see? And I know it probably, and Sony's not letting them touch Miles Morales. It's not letting them touch it. Now, you know what I would like to see? If we ever get the Static Shock stuff situated out the rights, I would love to see a crossover between Static and Miles Morales. I think that would be good though. Who else? Static and Miles Morales crossover. That'll do crazy at the box office. I wouldn't mind that. Not so much in a movie. Let's say like an anime type thing, whatever, right? But Miles Morales, once he gets his live action movie, not connected to the MCU necessarily, cool. That'd be cool. I'll probably check that out. Whatever. Yeah. See, so something like that, guy. But they like as far as the reason around Static Shock thing is about the rights. So it's not that they want to do it, but the rights. Once they get the rights situated, I would love for that crossover to happen. Static and Miles Morales. That'll be fire and all that. So yeah, all that'll be fire right there. I like Static though, but they figuring the rights out. And I read the last comic book they had because it was with the Static, Icon, and Rocket and Hardware. So yeah, Milestone. It was a big DC brung them over. Like they joined up with DC, so they was ushering like the multicultural heroes, all that stuff. And they had they run in the '90s definitely, and they had a Worlds Collides thing they was doing as well with the other DC universe. So they're part of the DC universe milestone. So hopefully get the thing situated where we could get these movies. So yeah, like I said, Kevin Feige he enjoyed the movie and stuff. Superman, and I don't think he was just throwing gas. I think he really enjoyed it because the movie. So I enjoy certain Marvel. It had to be certain Marvel movies I like. I would like the original Captain America. I'll play those over. Infinity War, the Avenger movie, at least the first Avenger. I could watch that over and stuff. Like I said, I bought all the Spider-Man movies, the MCU Spider-Man movies. I got all of them. I got the first. I think I got one of the Venom movies as well. So yeah, so that's all Marvel gotta do is quality over quantity. Just like not having all this content coming out and stuff. So yeah. So yeah, so for the most part, I covered the box office of Superman, the truth behind all of that. And when you look at you look at the box office, Superman, you look at those numbers now where movies cost more, people are going to the movies less, not as they was back in 2013 or pre-pandemic or pre COVID. Look at the numbers from pre-COVID to post-COVID. Look at the numbers. It's not astronomical. We just talking about comic book movies though, from pre to post COVID. Just look at it. Movies cost more now. Movies cost way more now than they did back then. Okay, no problem. Like I said, so movies cost more. So when we talk about something flopping, yes, we look at the budget, but movies cost more. But also going forward, I would love to see DC even lessen budgets now more, right? Because you don't have to get a billion to be successful. James Gunn say that they don't need to get to 700. He don't need to hit a home run. He said just a double would be nice. I believe Superman's hit a double. I believe so. And you look at the guys, the studio heads saying DC, the Warner Bros. Say they'll be happy with 500 million. But now, okay, he said 500 million. Look at this. They're already at 409 and counting. They'll have 500 million by this weekend. So then, right there, okay, that's another checklist they could check off. Now let's go for 600 million. And then once we get to 600, let's see how far we get to 700. So it doesn't matter if it gets that stops at 670. So what? Look at the damage that DC was in. What it has to do. So it's not apples to apples. We're not like we're releasing a movie starting a whole new universe back in 2013. We're not. We're in 2025 starting a whole new universe. How people like Grace Randolph just completely misses that. You can't bring up inflation or whatever. Times are different. Inflation is just a variable. So let's bring up all the variables, every single thing, and add them up. Inflate the cost of that movie too. Let's do that. So yeah, so don't please. When you have to bring up inflation, you're just being lazy. So no, let's stop doing that. Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people. If you just don't like Superman, that's cool, right? You don't have to like it, right? You don't like. I didn't like Brussels sprouts coming up, but people say, oh, they was good for you, whatever. But I didn't like it, so. But not to see, just to see something do bad, just to see it do bad. If you don't like it because you it's not your cup of tea, fine. If you just like a straight up anime guy, right? Cool, right? No problem. But just to hate on the character, just to hate on it because like DC, but at the same time, I'm a DC fan, yeah, but I want to see Superman fail. I like Batman though. No, you're not a DC fan. You might be a Batman fan, but you're not a DC fan, right? No. People come with their own interior motives in there, and you wonder why we can't take you serious. You wonder why you lack credibility because you have no credibility, right? You have no credit, you know. So yeah, I'm here to bring out the truth news about Superman. Yeah, I'm a Superman stan fan fanatic, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'll admit to you that I am. But we can't lie about these numbers. We're not gonna mislead the people about these numbers. No, I never said Superman was gonna do a billion. Just put that clear. I never said he was gonna do a billion, but I believe they could do 700. Why, yeah. And it still has a chance to do that. As long as you're still in the field, you still have it's at 400 right now though. So half like 2 weeks, basically like around 2 weeks in, it's at 400. Okay. And like you said, 400 million was it doing super great in the Asian market? Really, sort of the Asian market should have been kind of dead for Superman. It's already over 400 million with 10 days in. I'll take that any day of the week, twice on Sundays. Hell, why not? Philby, I'll take that right there. Oh, okay, Ty, what you got? Let's see. Superman didn't do good in Japan because Demon Slayer movie. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, so Demon Slayer came out. Yeah, so that's understandable though, right? Okay, like anime is big over there, right? And here's the thing though, Ty. Being that anime is big over there, how about we start having DC properties in an anime format, which you can do. You can have like I believe they working on an Asian Huntress. You could do that. You could make some anime out there, right? Whatever you got, you could do it. And how about you could make some absolute Wonder Woman anime, or you like the absolute comic book line will be great in anime though, right? Anime, yeah, it'll be great. Transition some of these DC models over to anime, like Plastic Man No More will kick ass in anime. That like they have these mature lines where they could do some anime stuff, right? They have the character they could switch over to do anime. You could do a Harley Quinn and I think they did Harley Quinn anime, but do some real good. Get your top talent and do some anime. You have where you could take a DC like you got some Batman stuff, but you do some other things in DC and transition over to anime. No, no, no. I'm not saying that. I know it's big over there, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying overall, as far as getting more some of that Asian market and stuff. You could do like even though that came out, you still have other IPs that do well over there. Even though Demons Slayers out there, that says it's out. You have to appease to the area that you bring your product to. And so maybe Superman probably will never be as big in Asia as Batman, which is fine, But you have other IPs where you could infiltrate that area as well. So, but I hear what you're saying, Todd. I know Demon Slayer is huge definitely in Japan, right? So culturally, it's bigger in Japan than Superman. Culturally, it is, right? I'm not gonna argue that. In case in point, Superman is the number one selling comic book. All Superman comic books that sold in his lifetime. But look at manga, right? Which is One Piece Man is number two, and it has not been nearly as long as out as Superman. So that's just a show of the popularity of the culture of anime manga that's having an effect over the world as a whole. So yeah, I would say that. But yeah, Ty, I definitely appreciate you coming in here. Who else being up in here? Like, yeah, it's true. Like, yeah, they can't compete with Demon Slayer in Japan. Not many can, but start developing your anime IPs for those regions and stuff. And you could make a lot of you could build a lot of stuff over in China, Japan, and doing some anime, some good anime, I would say. Whatever. Do like you could do like a crossover anime with Godzilla and stuff, movie, whatever the case may be. So start doing that to get more footing in these other areas and regions and stuff over the world. So I think I'm not gonna try to tell DC what to do because they're smart enough to know what they have to do because they know what's working and what's not working. So I don't have to tell them that. But as a fan, I'm just happy and appreciate that Superman is doing well. Is back on the big screen. They're thriving over there. Definitely in the U.S. though. So I'm good for. I'm glad for that. And we'll see how far Superman can go. We'll see with these analysts how accurate they are. The analysts I like to listen to. Luis Fernando, he's pretty decent with his projections and stuff. He don't go too crazy. He don't go overly crazy with it. He's been spot on mostly a lot. So for far I've been covering him. So yeah, so I'm good with that and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna see what happens though. But like I said, Fantastic Four this week. Some people get to see it today. The review embargo for Fantastic Four lifts tomorrow on the 22nd. So we'll see what the Rotten Tomato scores, all that stuff, and then like this Thursday, Friday, we'll see the I guess those audio scores will go live probably on a Friday or Thursday, whatever, and we'll see how that does. We'll also see how the cinema score is as well, cause yeah, so I think it's gonna be a pretty good movie. And it's nothing wrong having two really good comic book movies out, cause we as fans win when that happens. So I hope it's really good. I hope it's really good and people get a chance to enjoy that. So basically, that's it. I will come with another video to break down to talk about the Wonder Woman and stuff where we have the same screenwriter that did Supergirl is doing this one, and I believe it will be good because like she's doing 3 projects though right now. Anna Nogueira, I believe. Well, whatever her name is last name, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but her first name is Anna. She's doing really good, right? Because look at this, she's doing 3 projects though. She already finished Supergirl. She's doing Wonder Woman and Teen Titans. You have 3. Wonder Woman getting priority, so that's pushed the Titans on the back burner a little bit. At least until that script is finished though with Wonder Woman. So I don't think she's gonna take really long to do it though. So like the script should be like done soon, I believe. No, yeah, yeah. I think. Oh no, oh you mean Fantastic Four? Yeah, I think Fantastic Four is gonna be good. Unlike the other people not wishing the movie to fail, I don't think Fantastic Four is going to fail. I think, like I said, just everything what I've been hearing for people who I follow online, who like just actually in the industry, of course, doing movie reviews, all that, box office analysts, all that stuff. They're saying they've been hearing really good things, positive stuff. They haven't heard not one negative thing yet. So I think it's going to do very well though, and stuff, right? I think it's doing very well. I don't know as far as the box office. I'm assuming the box office is going to do 100 million or more. It's going to do over 100 million domestic on Fantastic Four. I don't know how high it's going to be, but it's going to be over 100 million plus. So I'll just say that. I'm not wishing no movie to do bad, right? Like a lot of other people, which is kind of weird, right? And like, I seen people have an opinion of a Superman movie. You didn't even go and watch it. Like this guy, who's the guy? The Odd Marcus in the Discord. Like, yeah, that was kind of weird. But hey, to each his own, I guess. But yeah, I believe Fantastic Four is gonna do well. I believe Superman's gonna continue to do well. So we'll have 2 good movies like to really talk about and stuff. So yeah, so hopefully those that go and see it, they enjoy themselves, have a good time and stuff. And like I said, all I say is don't spoil the movie for others to get a chance to see it. Even if I already seen this Fantastic Four movie already, I would not spoil it. I don't believe in doing spoilers and taking the fun away from people. It's a lot of other people that try to do that, post stuff. Don't post nothing. Keep that to yourself. You know, at least don't post nothing to the first weekend, right? Let the movie be out for like a weekend or so, or whatever, right? Don't post nothing and put a spoiler caption over it too, where it's hiding it, and the person that clicks on it, they just click on it, whatever. But yeah, that's really it for now. Though. I want to, like I said, I think I broke down the Superman for y'all, like the box office, all of that, and I was definitely being fair with it. I was basing off of what the trades were saying, like what Deadline reported and all that. So they're not gonna put no false numbers out there like that. You might have an estimate. An estimate is not a false number. And then we seen where the actual number was higher than the estimate, which was good. So we'll see what Superman does tonight. Domestic. Well, it's still going right now, but when those numbers come back, though, were the estimates of it for us on Monday. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited to see how these numbers go leading up to this weekend. How everything goes. Like I believe Superman should get to that 500 because I trust him so far from the Luis Fernando what he was saying and James Gunn knows what he's doing and all everything associated above. So hopefully Fantastic Four will be good. But that's it for now. I will do that breakdown of the Wonder Woman. Getting a new screenwriter. That's the Supergirl screenwriter. So James Gunn must have seen something that he liked in this one. Because Supergirl, I don't know, originally supposed to be the next movie out, but it is because he fell in love with that strip. So hey, he trusts this person, Anna, and so hey, I'm gonna give James Gunn the benefit of the doubt. Cause look what he's done for the DC so far. He brung DC back. He brung the fans back to DC, to the theaters. So that's important right there. So just off of that alone, I'm riding with James Gunn. You know, I'm not gonna forsake him because I seen his track record, his resume with the critics and the fans speaks for itself. Yeah, he may not have a $1 billion film, but he did get a credit on Infinity War. So I guess he does have the a credit, a $1 billion film under his resume, really, if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, his filmology speaks to me. So you know what? He's very credible, knowledgeable. He knows what he's doing. Guys like Clay Rossi and Ricky Brown never been a screenwriter, never been a director, never been a producer. So what do they know? You know, that's all I gotta say on that. Trust in irrelevant people who does this, not the grifters. I gotta say that again. No grifters in 2025 shall pass. Feel me? Yeah. That's how we doing it right here. Feel me? Those guys are grifters over there. Ricky Brown a grifter. Clay Rossi the grifter. Vaughn's a grifter. Right? There's a lot of grifters out there, right? So we're not gonna recognize them too much as being legit. You feel me? But yeah, man, it's just me with this Superman box office. We about to wrap it up, and so stay tuned for that Wonder Woman video I gotta do, and I break it down how this could be a big move. How this is gonna be a big move for DC. So stay tuned for that video. That video is coming, but I had to go live. Right, it's a podcast. I'm gonna try to do a podcast. At least one a week. At least one a week. And something crazy breaks, then boom, I'll drop that video or whatever. You'll see me drop the content on that. Yeah, I appreciate my man Ty being up in here. Yeah, but I'm gonna try to be honest as I can and fair as I can with y'all. Cause one thing you gonna know about me, I'm not gonna be a known person that's lying. It's gonna straight up lie to you. I'm not gonna do that. I'm always gonna be honest. If I believe something could happen, it don't happen. It don't mean I'm lying. Now, let's put that out there. There's a difference between believing something can happen and then flat out just lying and say and try to make something be as factual when it's just your opinion or something that you want to happen. Now, I believe Superman is going to get to 500. I believe that Superman can get to 700. Will it get to 700? I don't know, but I believe it can get to 700. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying right there. But definitely like, comment, subscribe. I'm trying to get monetized on here. I'm like, I need, at least 3,000 watch hours. I'm at over 1,100 watch hours. So, Yeah, give your boy a follow. Hey, if you only go watch for at least for 5 minutes, 5 minutes is better than no minutes, right? So I'm trying to get monetized with these watch hours and stuff. We could increase, you know, the channel and stuff with more content and get better and stuff. Whatever the stuff you want. If y'all want me, hold on. If y'all want me to go and see Fantastic Four, let me know. If y'all want me to do a review on the Fantastic Four when I after I watch it, out of fit a reaction to that and review, I'll do it if y'all want me to do that. I'll definitely do that for y'all though. So y'all just let me know. Ty, let me know you want me to do my reaction to Fantastic Four because I'm gonna see it about August the 5th. So I won't be no spoilers coming from me. I'll go and do that. What? Watch it August the 5th and get my out of fit. I'll do my out of fit reaction along with my review, all like the same. Or I can just do an out of fit reaction first, then I can do a review later. It's up to y'all. Y'all just let me know. But I'm out of here. I appreciate all y'all coming through, showing love to who else? To the Ty Man 87. It's Ty. Also, when you gonna start your YouTube back up, Ty? Cause I know used to be streaming like your game videos and stuff too. So when you let me know when you want to start doing that again. But yeah, man, big day at DC. Big things coming in the future. Just stay tuned, man. DC is definitely on the rise and stuff. So, oh, tomorrow? Okay. Well, yo, Ty, what time tomorrow? So I know what time tomorrow about, so I can check that out and stuff. Or like just like tell me here, or just like DM my you can just like put in the Discord like what time you're gonna like go. Then I'll share it out and I'll be in there too and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna get that Madden though. 7 my time. Okay, so 7. Okay, so all right. 7 my time tomorrow. Okay, I definitely be there though. I'm about to end this stream right here. You know, appreciate you stopping through. Oh, Ty. You know, and like appreciate it. Like as I'm getting closer, man. I'm every day I get closer and closer to that number though. You know, but appreciate everyone who came through. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out there to the next one.